The American restaurant landscape is undergoing a seismic shift that most diners are only now beginning to notice. While corporate executives boast about record earnings and ambitious expansion plans, the customers who built these brands into cultural staples are quietly walking away. Not because of trends or temporary economic dips, but because the core promises that made these chains beloved have been systematically broken. Affordable indulgence has turned into overpriced disappointment. Portions have shrunk to calculated minimums. Consistent quality has been replaced by cost-cutting measures designed to satisfy shareholders, not customers. The trust these brands spent decades cultivating is eroding one unsatisfying meal at a time. Today, we're examining 8 restaurant chains that have traded long-term loyalty for short-term profits and are paying the price. These aren't dramatic collapses or sudden scandals, but slow, deliberate betrayals of the very customers who made their success possible. Number 8. Chick-fil-A. The chicken empire that once symbolized exceptional value, quality, and genuine hospitality has become almost unrecognizable to its most loyal customers. A brand built on generous portions, fair pricing, and heartfelt service has shifted into a corporate machine that treats customer loyalty as something to extract rather than something to earn. Menu prices have escalated to levels that contradict everything Chick-fil-A once represented. Combo meals that were once affordable family staples now rival sit-down restaurant prices. The 8-count nugget meal, once a hallmark of value, has quietly shrunk in portion size while climbing in cost, turning casual lunches into unexpectedly expensive purchases. Even promotional offers now feel restrictive, buried behind app requirements and loyalty program hurdles that complicate what used to be a simple, friendly transaction. The iconic chicken sandwich, the foundation of Chick-fil-A's legendary reputation, has also changed. Regulars immediately notice smaller portions, thinner fillets, altered breading, and flavor that no longer matches the sandwich that once justified loyal devotion. Sauce packets have shrunk, and extra requests often come with pushback or upcharges that chip away at the hospitality customers once praised. Service quality, long considered Chick-fil-A's unbeatable advantage, has slipped as rapid expansion outpaced training and quality control. The famously warm customer interactions now feel scripted and hollow. Drive-through lines that were once models of efficiency increasingly suffer from long waits, order mistakes, and rushed execution. My pleasure no longer feels genuine. It feels like corporate policy. Meanwhile, kitchen streamlining has noticeably impacted food quality. Chicken that was once hand-breaded fresh throughout the day now sits under heat lamps, losing texture and flavor. Fries often arrive lukewarm and underseasoned. Sandwiches look hastily assembled. The careful, crafted feel that made Chick-fil-A meals stand out has given way to assembly line speed that fails to justify the brand's rapidly rising prices. What was once the gold standard of fast food is now drifting dangerously close to the mediocrity it once outperformed with ease. Number 7. Shake Shack. The premium burger darling that once justified its higher prices through superior ingredients and thoughtful execution has become a textbook example of how a brand can coast on reputation while quietly delivering less for more. What started as a genuine upgrade from traditional fast food has deteriorated into an overpriced, underwhelming experience that exploits customer expectations rather than rewarding them. Portion sizes are now the clearest evidence of Shake Shack's value collapse. Burger patties have shrunk to the point where the once iconic Shack burger often looks miniature, leaving customers hungry after meals that cost significantly more than better-sized options at competing chains. The premium label used to justify its pricing now feels like a marketing illusion, rather than a reflection of what actually arrives on the tray. Menu prices have escalated to levels that rival sit-down dining, while delivering fast food-level execution. A basic burger, fries, and drink often pushes $20, yet what customers receive feels inconsistent, skimpy, and unworthy of the expense. The elevated branding and polished aesthetic can no longer distract from the uncomfortable reality that the food quality no longer aligns with the premium price tags. Ingredient quality has slipped noticeably as corporate expansion prioritized scalability over craftsmanship. The formerly rich Angus beef now tastes bland and overcooked. Toppings arrive wilted, minimal, or unevenly applied. Buns fall apart halfway through eating, and the once distinctive beverage and beer programs have been watered down while keeping inflated price points. Service execution also fails to support Shake Shack's premium positioning. Training appears inconsistent, order accuracy is increasingly unreliable, and customers often double-check their bags to avoid discovering mistakes at home. The warm, bustling atmosphere that once made Shake Shack feel like a destination has faded into sterile, corporate-feeling spaces designed for quick turnover rather than enjoyable dining. Store designs have shifted toward minimalism and cost efficiency, replacing the original charm with hard seating, harsh lighting, and cramped layouts. What once felt like a modern community gathering spot now resembles an upscale cafeteria lacking comfort or personality. Even the loyalty program has been quietly gutted. Rewards take longer to earn, cost more to redeem, and ultimately benefit the company far more than the customers expected to stay loyal. Shake Shack hasn't just lost its value, it has lost its identity. Number 6. Starbucks. The coffee empire that once elevated everyday routines into comforting rituals has betrayed the very customers who built it. What began as an affordable luxury, a place where people could unwind, work, or feel part of a community, has devolved into a corporate extraction machine where loyalty is monetized, not appreciated. The loyalty program overhaul epitomizes this shift. The once beloved Stars system, which truly rewarded frequent customers, has been redesigned to require substantially more spending for fewer benefits. Earning rates have dropped, redemption costs have soared, and free drink rewards now demand spending levels that push customers to choose between financial responsibility and brand loyalty. What was marketed as an improvement is, in reality, a revenue optimization tactic that benefits shareholders while punishing the very people who made the program a success. Menu pricing has crossed the threshold from premium to unreasonable. Basic drinks now approach meal-level prices, while customizations, alternative milks, extra espresso shots, syrups stack up to totals that make routine coffee runs feel irresponsible. Starbucks has turned personalizing your drink into a profit strategy, transforming what once felt special into a costly habit. Quality has slipped just as prices have surged. Rapid expansion and high employee turnover have weakened consistency, leaving drinks that taste generic, poorly balanced, or improperly prepared. Seasonal offerings that once generated excitement now feel mass-produced, and staple beverages taste subtly reformulated with cheaper ingredients. Service has become mechanical, prioritizing speed over warmth. The human connection that once defined Starbucks, the friendly barista who remembered your name, has been replaced by rushed interactions and chaotic pickup counters dominated by mobile orders. Efficiency has overtaken hospitality, eroding the emotional foundation of the brand. Even the stores themselves reflect this shift. Spaces designed to be the third place between home and work now feel engineered for turnover. Seating is reduced, lighting is harsher, music is louder, and the welcoming coffeehouse atmosphere has been replaced with something closer to a transit hub than a community gathering space. Starbucks didn't just raise prices, it abandoned its identity. Number 5. Chipotle. The fast casual pioneer that redefined American dining with food with integrity has become a cautionary tale of how rapid expansion and cost-cutting can dismantle the very values that built a brand. The company that once promised quality ingredients, transparency, and generous portions now operates with priorities that revolve around profit margins rather than customer trust or food integrity. Portion control has become the most glaring example of this decline. Employees are now trained to ration ingredients instead of building the generous, customizable bowls that made Chipotle famous. Rice barely covers the bottom of the container, protein is measured with precision that feels stingy, and customers routinely find themselves negotiating for scoops that used to be standard. Add-on charges have replaced the freedom of customization, making what was once a satisfying meal feel incomplete unless customers pay extra. Meanwhile, menu prices have risen at a pace that leaves regulars feeling blindsided. The affordable premium model Chipotle pioneered has been replaced by entree prices that rival full-service restaurants while delivering assembly line execution and cafeteria-style seating. The combination of higher prices and smaller portions has destroyed the value equation that once justified the brand's premium positioning. Ingredient quality concerns also continue to shadow the chain. Despite marketing campaigns touting improved sourcing, customers haven't forgotten the food safety incidents that dominated headlines for years. The open kitchen, originally meant to symbolize transparency, now exposes inconsistent preparation practices and questionable cleanliness that erode confidence rather than inspire it. Service quality has fallen sharply as expansion outpaced training. Instead of collaborative customization, the ordering process often feels adversarial, with customers pleading for adequate portions while employees focus on speed metrics and cost controls. Staff turnover and rushed preparation contribute to meals that lack the freshness and craftsmanship that once defined the Chipotle experience. Even the in-store environment reflects this decline. Harsh lighting, hard seating, and cafeteria-style layouts create atmospheres built for throughput, not comfort. The sense of community and neighborhood dining that once set Chipotle apart has been replaced with transactional spaces designed to move customers in and out as quickly as possible. Chipotle hasn't just changed, it has abandoned the principles that made it a revolution in fast casual dining. Number 4. Taco Bell. The late-night institution that once fueled college students, night shift workers, and budget-minded diners is now facing a customer exodus that threatens its long-held dominance in affordable Mexican-inspired fast food. The chain that once thrived on creativity, value, and late-night reliability has traded its strengths for cost-cutting strategies that alienate the very demographics that once treated Taco Bell as essential. Portion reductions are now the most glaring source of frustration. The Crunchwrap Supreme, once a hearty filling staple, arrives noticeably smaller, with thin layers of filling arranged to minimize ingredients instead of maximize satisfaction. Taco shells frequently arrive broken or stale, and protein portions have shrunk to the point where they barely contribute to the overall flavor or substance of the item. Menu simplification has removed fan favorites and regional specialties that once kept customers returning to try new creations. The innovation pipeline that used to crank out bold, fun, craveable items has been replaced by reformulated, cost-focused versions that feel uninspired and inferior. Popular items vanish without explanation, while replacements fail to deliver the excitement or value that built Taco Bell's loyal customer base. The value menu, once the backbone of Taco Bell's appeal, has become a confusing collection of inflated prices and strategic upsells. Combo meals now force unwanted add-ons, while individual prices make customization far more expensive than before. What was once the go-to choice for affordable filling meals has transformed into one of the worst value propositions in fast food. Operational changes haven't improved the experience either. Kitchens run with such extreme streamlining that food assembly feels mass-produced and rushed. Distinctive seasoning blends taste diluted, textures often turn out soggy, and sauce application has become minimal to the point of being imperceptible. The flavors that once defined Taco Bell's identity now feel muted or inconsistent. Even service speed, a hallmark of the brand, has deteriorated. Drive-through waits stretch longer than ever, accuracy issues require customers to inspect every bag, and mobile ordering adds complications rather than convenience. The late-night dependability that made Taco Bell iconic has collapsed under staffing cuts and operational shortcuts. Taco Bell hasn't simply changed, it has abandoned the core elements that once made it indispensable. Number 3. McDonald's. The golden arches that once symbolized consistency, affordability, and convenience are losing their shine as corporate decisions dismantle the very principles that made McDonald's a global staple. The brand built on predictable experiences and wallet-friendly meals has morphed into something long-time customers barely recognize, triggering an identity crisis that's eroding loyalty across every demographic. Pricing is the most obvious betrayal. The dollar menu, once a lifeline for students, families, and working-class diners, has been replaced by tiered price structures that start where full combo meals used to end. Even Happy Meals now approach casual dining prices while offering smaller portions and cheaper toys. Customers who once visited McDonald's without hesitation now pause, calculate, and frequently decide the value simply isn't there anymore. Technology was supposed to streamline ordering but has instead created new frustrations. Touchscreen kiosks prioritize upsells over efficiency, cluttering simple orders with confusing prompts, add-on screens, and malfunctioning interfaces that stall lines rather than speed them up. Drive-through wait times have increased, not improved, undermining the core promise of fast food. In the kitchen, cost-cutting has replaced craftsmanship. Burgers arrive sloppily assembled, fries routinely lack heat and seasoning, and signature items taste muted as sauces and toppings are portioned with stingy precision. Packaging redesigns create the illusion of generous servings while actual portions shrink. Smaller patties, fewer nuggets, and meals that leave customers unsatisfied. Service quality has also taken a hit. Undertrained staff struggle with basic menu knowledge, modifications, and order accuracy. Drive-through lanes, once models of speed, now involve repeated confirmations and long waits that make the fast in fast food feel like a forgotten concept. Store conditions reflect years of deferred maintenance. Dining rooms show wear and tear, play areas have been removed or left to deteriorate, and cleanliness is inconsistent, all contributing to an experience that feels neglected rather than iconic. Even McDonald's breakfast advantage has eroded. All-day breakfast created operational chaos, and scaled-back offerings now frustrate customers who still expect the convenience that once set McDonald's apart. McDonald's hasn't just changed, it has abandoned the core values that made it indispensable. Customers feel it, and the brand is paying the price. Number 2. Buffalo Wild Wings. The sports bar empire that once anchored game day traditions and social gatherings has priced itself out of reach for the very customers who made wing nights a cultural phenomenon. What was once an affordable way to enjoy sports with friends has transformed into a premium dining experience that delivers fast casual execution at sit-down restaurant prices, creating a value proposition that no longer makes sense for regular visits. Wing pricing has escalated to levels that make ordering for groups feel financially irresponsible. Traditional wing orders that once represented reasonable indulgences now carry price tags that rival steakhouse appetizers while delivering smaller portions and inconsistent preparation quality. Boneless wing alternatives marketed as value options still cost significantly more than comparable items at competitors, while providing less satisfying eating experiences that fail to justify the premium pricing structure. Menu engineering has transformed every aspect of the dining experience into a revenue extraction opportunity. Sauce varieties that were once included with wing orders now carry additional charges, while portion sizes for traditional offerings have been reduced. Appetizer platters that were designed for sharing now seem calculated to serve fewer people while maintaining pricing that assumes larger group consumption. Drink specials have been restructured with restrictions and limitations that make advertised deals difficult to use effectively. Service execution has declined as staffing reductions create bottlenecks that affect both order accuracy and food quality timing. Kitchen operations struggle to maintain proper wing preparation temperatures, while dining room service operates with skeleton crews that cannot adequately support customer needs during the peak periods. The sports bar atmosphere that once felt welcoming and energetic now seems chaotic and understaffed rather than exciting and social. Food quality consistency has suffered as rapid expansion outpaced training capabilities and quality control systems. Wings arrive overcooked or undersauced, while side dishes sit under heat lamps long enough to develop textures that bear little resemblance to fresh preparation. The signature sauces that built brand loyalty now taste inconsistent across locations, while new flavor offerings seem designed more for marketing purposes than genuine taste improvement. Store environments reflect the corporate focus on maximizing revenue per square foot, rather than creating comfortable spaces for extended social gatherings. Seating arrangements prioritize table turnover, while television placement and audio systems create atmospheres that feel more like sports betting parlors than neighborhood gathering places. The community sports bar experience that once made Buffalo Wild Wings destinations for regular social events has been replaced with transactional environments designed to process customers efficiently, rather than encourage lingering that builds loyalty and repeat business. Number 1. Five Guys. The burger brand that once justified premium pricing through superior quality and generous portions has become the poster child for how corporate greed can destroy customer loyalty faster than any competitor ever could. What was once considered the gold standard for premium fast casual dining has transformed into an expensive disappointment that leaves customers questioning not just the value proposition, but their own judgment in continuing to patronize a brand that seems to hold them in contempt. Menu pricing has reached genuinely absurd levels that make casual dining restaurants seem like bargain alternatives. Simple burger and fries combinations now routinely exceed $20, while delivering portions and quality that fail to justify costs that approach fine dining territory. The little cheeseburger that was once positioned as a reasonable option now costs more than full meals at competitors while providing satisfaction levels that leave customers feeling genuinely ripped off rather than merely disappointed. The famous hand-cut fries that built Five Guys' reputation have become perhaps the most overpriced side dish in American fast food. Portions that were once generous enough to share now seem calculated to provide just enough satisfaction to avoid customer complaints while maximizing profit margins on what should be an inexpensive menu component. The peanut oil preparation that once justified premium pricing now feels like marketing theater rather than genuine quality differentiation when customers realize they're paying restaurant prices for fast food execution. Burger preparation standards have declined noticeably as expansion has outpaced quality control capabilities and staff training systems. Patties arrive overcooked and dry, while assembly seems rushed and careless. The fresh beef promise that differentiated Five Guys from frozen patty competitors has been undermined by cooking methods that result in burgers that taste generic, despite premium pricing. Topping portions have been standardized to minimal quantities, while extra requests are met with resistance or additional charges that inflate already expensive orders beyond reasonable limits. Service execution reflects the fundamental disconnect between pricing and value delivery as locations struggle to justify premium costs through superior customer experiences. Order accuracy has declined, while wait times stretch beyond reasonable expectations for what should be straightforward preparation processes. The open kitchen concept that was once a transparency selling point now highlights preparation shortcuts and cleanliness issues that generate concern rather than confidence among customers paying premium prices. Store environments have become increasingly institutional as expansion prioritizes cost efficiency over the design elements that once made locations feel unique and inviting. The casual dining atmosphere that once justified higher prices has been replaced with sterile environments that feel more like expensive cafeterias than destination restaurants. Seating areas show obvious wear, while maintenance standards have declined to levels that contradict the premium positioning that drives elevated pricing structures. The peanut program that was once a charming differentiator has become a liability, as locations struggle to maintain adequate supplies while managing the mess and allergen concerns that affect customer comfort. What was once a welcoming gesture now feels like a gimmick that adds operational complications without providing meaningful value enhancement that justifies the overall cost structure. Franchise operations have created inconsistency problems that affect both food quality and service standards across locations. The uniformity that customers expect from premium-priced chains has been compromised by varying preparation methods and portion control standards that make the Five Guys experience unpredictable rather than reliably excellent. Quality control systems seem insufficient to maintain the standards that customers expect when paying significantly more than competitors charge for similar offerings. The shift happening across America's restaurant landscape is more than an economic cycle. It's a breach of trust. These 8 chains have treated customer loyalty not as something to honor, but as something to exploit. They assumed decades of goodwill meant customers would tolerate anything: higher prices, smaller portions, declining quality, and disrespect disguised as operational efficiency. The mass exodus we're seeing isn't about trends or competition. It's the logical response to brands that no longer deliver value or fairness. When a basic coffee costs $8, when a burger meal pushes $25, when every visit feels worse than the last, people aren't abandoning these chains out of preference. They're doing it out of principle. The future belongs to restaurants that understand hospitality, value, and consistency still matter. These 8 chains may temporarily satisfy shareholders, but long-term success requires something they've forgotten how to do: earn customer loyalty, not drain it.